Hey everyone, Dratlaw44 here. I hope you're all keeping well today. Now, today's video I'm going to be talking about the Yatsu-no-Kami Soul Core and why I use it and find it a huge benefit to my game. I'll then be talking about Onryoki and then Saito as well at the end. Now, if you do want a timestamp, you can skip to 125 for Onryoki and 7 minutes 44 approximately for Saito on the guide on that. Now, moving on to the Yatsu-no-Kami Soul Core. So I have used this since I got it. I found it's very handy, and I've got it, as you can see, up to level 9 now, which is pretty handy. With the damage, she does melee damage at 17% against poison enemies, and I use poison pretty much as I can. Find it very, very useful. The anima charge is 4%, which is just self-explanatory, charges quicker, and then you've got defense in yokai shift and normal defense as well. Now, one of the things that you'll see in the videos or the sections that are coming up is that she does multiple attacks. Now, she's very, very good for staggering the enemies, poisoning the enemies. Not always guaranteed, of course, but it's very, very, very useful. So I'd recommend, if you haven't already tried her and already know that how good she is, to give actually the Soul Core a try, as it's very, very strong. So what we'll do now is we'll move into Onryoki and how to find him and to do everything else. Okay, so the next section then is finding Onryoki. Now, one thing you'll notice, I haven't got my Guardian. Actually, I had to die on purpose because I missed the ledge that I was trying to drop on, and I just decided then to wipe and start again. So there is a ledge just below here, which I'm trying to look at the camera. It's difficult to see, but you can kind of see it just there, and as you can see, I fall onto that. Now, you might take a little bit more damage depending on the level, but you know, it shouldn't kill you anyway. And then you can sort of see that then I do run up to try and get my Guardian in just a sec, but you know, it's one of those things. Now, it is really nice. What I do like about this is that they've actually added a tribute to the first Nioh. This was pretty much the first boss, or the main boss for the main level in the first game. So it's really nice that they've sort of brought an enemy back, even though he's not a boss. He's just, you know, an enemy as such. It's pretty cool. Now, he'll swing his balls around. You'll probably be familiar if you played the first Nioh. He does very similar attacks, but they have added a burst counter to him as well. He's got two, actually. One reminds me a little bit of the Cyclopses, and the other one's a bit more unique. Maybe a bit like the yokai, which does the sort of shoulder charge. Now, as you can see there, a lot of guarding. The minute he drops down, it's always good. You can see I sloughed him as well to slow him down. Just again, if you have it, brilliant. If you don't, you know, no big deal. But it's just handy just to slow him down. Just makes just that little bit simpler. Yeah, I pushed a little bit with the ball swings. Tried to get through it. Unfortunately, I didn't. But you get the idea with that one. Now, with this, as you can see, he's going to sort of do his burst counter, and then you can just stop it. Power attack, and I burst counter it. Now, what I'm going to do then is I did damage, and you can see I use Yatsu, as I said, to stagger him and just finish him off. Now, like anything, you can see the damage that did. Took off about half his life bar, and yeah, I tried to slough him again, and he threw a cannon on me. They were actually quite easy to avoid, but I was cool. As you can see, there's no problem. So yeah, so it's pretty much you know, the same on there. He does his shoulder charge. He didn't burst counter at that time. I just decided to dodge it, and he does another one, which is like a kind of shoulder charge jump thing as well. Now with him, he's just going to run round. He's literally very slow on the recovery from his attacks, to be honest, but he does hit pretty hard. I mean, like, he definitely hasn't lost his strength from the first game. Now, I definitely remember in the first game, I'd not played Nioh before. I did find him quite tricky, to be fair. Yeah, there you go. That's the one that reminds me of the Cyclops. Very similar animation. But there you go. There you go, he throws the cannonball again, just dodge it, yeah. You can use the pillar, like, to kind of dodge some of his attacks, which is always good. And then you can just literally do the damage with whatever weapon you're kind of using. So in a moment, I'm going to finish him off. Literally just there, his body belly flops, and then I'll just use actually Yatsu to finish him off. Because I thought, you know what, I don't want to run over there, he's picking up his cannonball. Do you see the use of Yatsu? Very good. Now what I'll do then is that I'm going to show you actually the way out, because of course, very importantly, it's all very well beating him, but if you can't get out of the place, you're kind of then like, oh, right, okay, what do I do now? So there's a thing from a dead body here and a chest up ahead. Do check that there's not 3 rungs on it, because if there's 3, one of those little skunk things will pop out. I don't know if you know this, a lot of people do, but if it does a gesture, don't attack it, just copy the gesture that it does. If you mimic it correctly, then actually it'll just give you the stuff anyway, so it's one of those things. And sometimes it's soul core, which is pretty cool, but I'll get to that in another video, sort of thing. Now on here you climb up the ladder, you go up here and there'll be another ladder. There will be a dead body with a sort of weapon or item over in the corner there. You can go and get that, and I do go on to then kill the 2 dwellers in a sec as well. So yeah, so there'll be 2 dwellers just up here that you can kill. The door's just right there actually, but I decide to run past and shoot the first one, you know, because 2 fights or 2 enemies is never as good, and then the big dweller of course can attack me. Fairly standard sort of enemy stuff. I don't think there's anything that you need for a guide on that one. They're pretty simple most of the time, but yeah. So yeah, so just finish him off, and then there's another item to collect, or a couple of items, which is all good. There we go. Now I run down here, and actually, to be honest, I did think, actually, as I sort of like looked on that, I thought there might be a secret wall there for a sec, but it turned out that I had seen that wrong, so shame, but there you go. Always got to look around and see what's going on. So this will lead you now back to the original part, which is pretty cool. There is actually another item to collect over here as well, and then what I'll do is I'll lead you back around to the shrine, of course, which you'll see in just a sec. You'll probably be very familiar with this if you played any of this level already. If you haven't, then just follow it round. There'll be an enemy cloud if you haven't done that already, and then you can just drop down to the shrine. So yeah, so that is pretty much it for the Onryoki, and of course how to, you know, pretty much how to beat him, or, you know, just give you some idea of what to do. You do sometimes get his mask as well, I believe, so that was an item that dropped the first time, so it's always handy. So yeah, so then you get his core as well, which is pretty good, and I would definitely recommend giving that a try. It's decent. So yeah, so that is it for this section. So we're going to move on now to Saito Yoshitatsu, or Tatsu, or whatever his name is. Yeah, can't say his name that well, but you know who I mean. So one thing I love is the intros in Nioh for the boss fights. I said this in a couple of other videos. It's fantastic, and the music is amazing. We'll watch this before I speak again. Brilliant intro, love it. Right, okay, so yeah, so with Saito, again, he seems pretty human, as much as a human could be, although he will shift. As you can see, I use yatsu-no-kami, which is just such a strong soul core, and I use it again to actually stagger the enemy and gain extra damage. As you can see now, he's poisoned, so he's taking extra damage as well, which is pretty good. He will do some sword swipes, he'll guard. You've just got to be careful of things as you go into the Nioh shift, which is the first stage. Now this one will be familiar if you've used this one. Throw the sort of like spinning blades, you can step it and dodge it, as you can see there, and do a bit of damage and back off. Best thing to do is just not to get greedy. This isn't the most difficult boss in the game at all, but you know, he is one that can be tricky if you just are getting, you know, overextending and just getting greedy for the attacks. So yeah, so as you can see here, I'm just going to steady out the poison again, just for the damage, and literally, yeah, just step it, do a bit of damage, roll back. First counter I was too far away, so I couldn't, or the med attack, I couldn't first counter it, unfortunately, but one of those things. Now, when he literally hit him enough, he will go into a stagger mode, and you can actually pull damage to him. As you can see there, just going to do some damage, try and do a little bit more when he gets up. Back off. A couple of attacks to be warned of is this one, that big slam attack. Luckily it missed me, but I know that that does quite a bit of damage. and that attack's got some tracking on it. So again, just beware of it, and always keep your guard up. He'll throw the whale down, luckily you can sidestep it, and these blasts took a surprise. This is the first time I'd fought this boss, so I wasn't expecting that. So again, just make sure you're guarding and being careful there. Now he'll go into the second shift phase, which actually is the brute, the same as the one I'm using. So again, just be patient with it, just do attacks, back off, attacks, and just do what you can. And the minute again that you do it, he goes into the stagger mode, finish him off. And then actually I use yatsu to finish him. And there you go. That is pretty much it. He's, as I say, not the hardest boss to deal with, but you know, he's one of those. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to drop a like or subscribe or the notification bell, that'd be fantastic. But otherwise, that is it for me. You have a great day. Take care. Bye.